Hi there, this is Mo Abdelbaki, and this presentation is to teach you how to use the coins to cast the I-Ching the easy way. Yes, there actually is an easy way, and that's what I'm hoping to show you today. So it really is kind of not as bad as people make it out to be, and people can make it out to be pretty darn bad. So let's do this. Let's keep it easy. Let's keep it simple. And just for the sake of continuity and for the sake of tradition, I'm going to be using Chinese coins. So here are two Chinese coins. The one on the left is what we call the yin side, and the one on the right is the yang side. The one on the left having four separate groups of characters, and then the one on the right having just the two sets of characters. So we say that essentially the yin side is the tails, and the yang side is the head. Okay, it's just that simple. Now, if you want to, you can make the head the one with four, and you can make the one with tails the two, but I don't, and most people, I think, keep it just that way. Now, let's not confuse the issue with these silver coins. Now, you can use regular quarters or pennies or whatever you'd like. As a matter of fact, a lot of people do. So the rules will be the same, okay? Yin will be the tail side, yang the head side. But for this purpose, for this demonstration, same thing, right? We're going to use the Chinese coins. I just happen to like them. It's what I've been using for decades. Now the yin, I'm just going to give you a little bit of background here, is going to have a numeric value of 2. The yang is going to have a numeric value of 3. Now this is only important because when you go to read in the I-Ching book, it will say if you have the number 6 or the number 9. And that's because it would be 3 yins, 2, 4, 6, or 3 yangs, 3, 6, 9. And then you read that line. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But for now, okay, don't worry about that. A yin line looks like this. It's a broken line. We call it a broken line. And a yang line looks like this, which is a solid line. They're the same length. The yin line is broken. The solid line is the yang. Okay? Now, let's just get rid of all of this stuff because it gets confusing very, very quickly. Okay? Let's get rid of the numbers as well. And let's keep it to the yin and the yang. Now, we are going to use 3 coins in order to cast the I-Ching. And with 3 coins, there are only 4 possible combinations of tosses. That's it. There's no more. Okay? This is the first combination. 3 yin coins. Okay? Notice, each coin has 4 groups of characters on it. So that's yin coins, right? 3 of those. You can also have, of course, 3 yang, or you can have, well, that's what we're starting with here, 3 yang. So each one of those has 2 characters upon it, 2 groups of characters, and those are the 3 yang. Now, you can also have 2 yin and 1 yang. So find those, okay? You see that there are 2 of those coins that have 4 characters and 1 yang. And then the other possibility, of course, is going to be 1 yin and 2 yang, okay? And that's what we have. You can see that the bottom 2 are both yang and the top one is yin. Now, there's a reason for teaching it to you this way. And if you've dealt with the numbers and all of that in the past, I think you'll agree that this is a much simpler way to do things. It's actually very simple to figure this out and what sort of line you've got. Here's the key, okay? I call it the minority rule. This is all you have to remember. The coin that is in the minority decides what the line is, okay? So, if there's only 1 yin coin, the line is a yin line, and it's going to look like this. Okay, so we saw that just a second ago. We saw 1 yin coin and 2 yang lines, right? Or 2 yang coins. So we have a yin coin. So the minority rule, if there's only 1 yang coin, the line is a yang line. So if we have 1 head and 2 tails, the yang is the minority. Therefore, we have a yang line. Okay? All right. Now, we do have 2 other possibilities. We talked about that. Now, these have to be treated a little bit differently. Let's start with the yins. If a toss has 3 yin coins, it's called old yin. This is because it's reached its final level of movement and it's going to change into something else. And what it changes into is yang. Okay? This is called a moving line. And this means that that line is read where? In the book of changes itself. And then it changes to its opposite. In this case, it would change to a yang, right? So let me explain this for a second. When you cast the I-Ching, you cast these coins. Each time you cast 3 coins, you have one line that will build what's known as a trigram. And then after you've got one trigram, you build another. And these upon each other form what's known as a hexagram. You read the judgment of the I-Ching, and then you read the description, and you go through that. Then, the only time you read the other lines is if you have either 3 yin coins or 3 yang coins, and then you'll decide which one it is. 3 yin would have a number of 6, so it usually says if you have 6 in the third line, for example, then you read that. It's part of the reading itself, and then you change it to yang, right? So it's old yin, you change it to yang, and then you're going to go to that next hexagram that's created. This is a fascinating system, and we're just talking about mechanics today in this, right? So in that case, so remember, if you have old yin, okay, old yin is going to become this, but we mark it with an X. The X means it's a moving yin. So it's X now, right? It's this is what it looks like. It's yin now, but this tells us that it will change to a yang, right? Okay, so after you've read the line in the book, like I mentioned, it becomes yang, okay? And it's going to end up looking like this. All right, it's just that simple. There really isn't that much to this. It's actually very easy, okay? Let's take a look at 3 yangs. If a toss has 3 yang coins, we're going to call it, just like we did the yin, old yang. This is again a moving line, and after being read, it changes to its opposite, in this case a yin. Okay? So old yang looks like this. Okay? Notice the dot on the line. That says this is an old yang. It's going to change into a yin. Okay? And it's going to end up looking just like this. Just like regular yin. All right. That's it. That's all you need to know. Now, let's build a hexagram just to make sure, all right, that everything is copacetic here. Okay, let's look at the first throw. The first throw, let's go ahead and throw this and say, okay, let's take a look at this. Look over those coins, right? Now, you tell me which coin is in the minority, okay? You look at those. All right. That one right there, what is that? That's yang, okay? What is that going to look like? Just like this, all right? Now, all I-Ching hexagrams are built from the bottom up. So let's put this here, all right? It's just that simple. So that's where yang goes, all right? All right. So there's yang. It's at the bottom. And let's take a look at the next throw. Second throw, here we go. All right. Now, which coin is in the minority? Okay, we have the 2 on the top are both yin, right? Because there are 4 groups. And so the bottom one is the yang. Because of the minority rule, we know that the one that is in the minority is going to be that one right there. It's yang, and we put it on top of the other yang lines. So we have 2 yangs so far. All right, so far so good, right? All right, let's take a look at the third throw. Here we go. And once again, which coin is in the minority, right? Uh-oh, we've got something different. We have 3 yin coins. Now remember, I said that a yin is going to be the yin sign, old yin, correct? Old yin with an X in the middle. Okay, so now we've got old yin. Let's put it where it belongs. All right. Okay. Now remember, this is made up of those 3 lines, okay? And this is our first hexagram. It is known as dui, okay? Dui. Now, there should be an X on that one on the top. I hope you caught that. Oh, there it is. Okay. Now, this is our first trigram known as Dwi. It happens to be the youngest daughter, blah, blah, blah. But for right now, that's all we need to know. It's actually a lake. You'll learn that later. We're talking about mechanics here. So the next throw, here we go. We threw, and what do we have? You tell me. What do we got? Go ahead. If you said yin, you're correct. Okay? All right. Now, let's throw again. Okay, what have we got? What do you think? If you said old yang, you're correct. Now let's do it one more time. Okay, what have we got? Take a look. Okay, the minority rule says that this next line is a yang line, okay? And we have our second trigram. It is called sun, and that's pronounced sun, not sun. It's actually the name. It happens to be the eldest daughter, and it happens to be the wind, right? I love that. Penetrating. Its color is green. It's very good energy. It's one that is, it grows. And if you go into Chinese restaurants that practice feng shui, you'll notice that on the bagua that they put sun where the cash register could be, because it should be. Anyway, this is about mechanics, but I'm getting a little ahead of myself, okay? So now we have our hexagram, okay? There it is. And we're going to look it up in the book. Now, the way this happens is every book has for you a thing with trigrams on the top and trigrams on the side, and then you find the correct trigrams, and they will show you. So in this case, we would say sun is on the top, dwi is on the bottom, and we find out when we look in the book that this is the 61st hexagram, okay? And it's called Chung Fu, or inner truth. And you can see that in actuality, it's kind of an empty center. That's pretty cool, because that's kind of what it's about, right? Inner truth, having nothing in the middle, open. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this hexagram, because it's two trigrams put together, and we're going to read about it, okay? So we read the hexagram text, then read the judgment for line 3, and then the judgment for line 5. And we do this because they're moving lines. Now let me explain this. So we're going to read, if I go to Chung Fu in my book of changes, okay, let me do that here, the 61st hexagram. It's really a very pretty hexagram here. And if you'll just bear with me. But this is what you do. And I use the Wilhelm Baines. I will talk about that from time to time in other presentations I'm planning on doing, and we'll see if I do or not. So we go to 61, it says Chung Fu, Inner Truth, and then there's a lot written about it, and that Wilhelm talks about, but in most I-Ching books you'll simply find the judgment, and it says, Inner Truth, pigs and fishes, good fortune, it furthers one to cross the great water, perseverance furthers. Now, this is interesting. You can read the commentary that Wilhelm writes. He says, pigs and fishes are the least intelligent of all animals, and therefore the most difficult to influence. The force of inner truth must grow great before its influence can extend to such creatures. And he goes on and on and on. Okay, so we read that. Then we read the image, which is wind over a lake. The image of inner truth. Thus, the superior person discusses criminal cases in order to delay executions. You think, wow, that sounds a little dismal. But it's not what you think, okay? But you do read, it's about justice. It's about the law and being open and clear. Now, you will see something called the lines, okay? Now, we have a yin, old yin, in the third line from the bottom. So it will say 6 in the third place. So we look for 6 in the third place, and we read it. It says, he finds a comrade, now he beats the drum, now he stops, now he sobs, now he sings. Okay? And then you read what that means. Okay, remember, we're just doing mechanics here. All right? So now we also have them, and then we're going to change that line, but we finish up, we go to 6 in the 5th place, and we go to, 9. 9 in the 5th place. Yes, it does happen. It's confusing after a time. He possesses truth which links together no blame. So you read then what Wilhelm says about that. Now you can use any I-Ching book, but I happen to think this is the best. I've been using it since 1968, so it makes sense. So then what you're going to do, after you've done all that, is you are going to go on, right? Right? And you're going. Oh, this is kind of out of place. The two trigrams make one hexagram. Oh, we did. We looked up the two trigrams in the chart in the book, and we did all that. Okay. And now we're going to change the lines to their opposites. Okay. So we have Chung Fu, inner truth. We are going to change that yin and that yang into their opposites, just like that. Okay. It is now the 26th hexagram, which is called Ta Chu, Gesundheit, the taming power of the great. Okay? So you go to your I-Ching book, you consult it, and you say, okay, read the judgment, read the image, and that's where you stop. And that is your answer. And that's all there is to being able to read the I-Ching or cast the I-Ching. Of course, it takes more getting involved into it. There's a way with 6 coins. I decided just to keep it very simple today and leave it right here. So that's all there is. I'd like to thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed it. Okay, and you can always get in touch if you have questions. But I think if you watch this a couple of times, you'll see it's very, very clear. Thank you very much. This is Mo signing out. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Peace and love, my friends.